Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Corn-Fed Rugby podcast. I'm Anna Deegen, better known as Deegs, joined by my husband Ben Degen.
She stole my nickname. Hi, guys.
And yeah, this is episode 2 of the Corn-Fed Rugby podcast. We got quite a lot of stuff to cover today. We're going to talk about some high school stuff that happened in the last month, some college rugby, some senior side rugby, and then some international news. So, full rundown for you, but we'll get cracking. So starting off with high school rugby, we had a few girls selected to play on a Midwest Thunderbirds select side team, which was super cool. They went and played in the territorial championships, and that was Morgan Roth from Norwalk and Madison England and Maya Behrens from Waverly Shell Rock, so which was super cool. They played 2 games that weekend. First one was against Pac Northwest, pretty eventful game. All three of them got on the field for that one, and then they played against the South. All three of them on the field for that one as well. You'll notice the corn-fed rugby highlight, the first one, our corn-fed highlight. Morgan setting up Madison, which was super cool. Shout out Bryant for making sure I saw that. But yeah, super fun to watch them play. All three of them really exploiting the offensive skills that they have. Morgan played a lot of 15, but also stepped in to be the first receiver, fly half a little bit, which was cool. Madison stepped back. She was a center, and then she played a little bit of fullback too, and then Maya out on the wing there. Yeah, super fun. Offensively, super great for them. Defensively was also good, just a bit. Um, Seemed more like the team lacked the defensive structure more than any single person, but it's kind of difficult, I think, playing with people you don't know. You haven't gotten to practice with them a ton, so a little bit more difficult to put together a full team, but super good showing for them. Super cool that they got to play high level rugby with other people. So yeah. And then boys high school season is also getting started soon. We'll have 5 weeks of sevens games this year, and then we'll go into state for 1A and 2A. And then for the first time in a while, we'll be having 15 season as well. So we'll do 3 weeks of 15s following that up. You guys have probably already seen, but shout out to the B-side boys. Youth Rugby is partnering with
Boo.
them. No, we love B-side boys. They shout me out, so I gotta shout them out. So shout out to Ryan Gray and the B-side boys. They're gonna be live streaming one of the host sites each week, and they've already announced where those will be, so I'll let you know. Week 1 they'll be covering Mason City's host site. Week 2 they'll be covering Cedar Rapids. Week 3 they'll be covering Fort Dodge. Week 4 they'll be in West Des Moines, and then week 5 they'll be in Norwalk, and then they'll be covering the 2A state host site. So pretty cool. So shout out Ryan, shout out them. Should be a super exciting season. The team we've got here is starting to shape out a little bit, so it'll be cool. We'll see if we can get 7 on the field for that. But
So, do you know if anybody's going to cover 15s at all? Or only
I don't
sevens?
think we have 15s is going to be a little bit more difficult because it'll be on Saturdays, which is traditionally
Mm-hmm.
when senior side games happen. It'd
True.
be cool if somebody covered it. Shout out Ryan, maybe, but that it wasn't in the contract that we proposed and did with him. So it's open, but also 1A state is open, but we'll talk about that another time. And then also for high school news, they just had select side tryouts this past weekend. I am one of the girls select side coaches, so and Ben by proxy also had to be there because of some car troubles.
I
So
sat in a chair and I let Matt Ramirez tackle me.
he did. So shout out Matt from Iowa Central. But yeah, boys numbers look super good. I spoke to Casey. He super grateful for how many boys showed up. They had a really good turnout. Girls numbers not super bad. We're definitely looking for a few more. We've got our work cut out for us, but I was happy with everybody that showed up. They put in a lot of work. They were really working hard. So I even wrote in my notes that if I had to put those players on the field as a cohesive group of 15, I would not be mad about it. I was pretty happy with everybody that showed up and put in work. So there will be another opportunity for high school boys and girls to try out for the team. Boys, I know it's going to be probably after the season just because they've got high school season coming up. Girls is supposed to be this coming Sunday. However, I think we're going to have to cancel it. So looking forward, I think the next opportunity for the girls is going to be March 29th. So stay tuned on socials for that. You can follow both the Iowa Hawkettes and the Iowa Boys Select Side on Facebook and Instagram. But the girls, I do know, have a quad coming up in Des Moines on April 11th. So we'll be hitting the ground running for Select Side there. And then following that, Ben and I got to put in the ref whistles, and Muscatine and Iowa City West teamed up to face Liberty North from Kansas City. Ben is an experienced ref, so I got to put the ref whistle on for the first time.
Experienced in quotation marks.
Experience. I'd say you're solidly experienced.
I've been refing about 2 years, solidly.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty good. I mean, you don't really get people to hang around long at this level, so
True.
I would say that's good.
I feel like most people either wash out and like decide it's not for them within 3 years, or they do it for like 25.
Yeah, or they're playing.
And that's just rugby in general, too.
Yeah. Like, we find it hard to, I mean, there's a ref shortage everywhere, but certainly in Iowa, like, if you're reffing, you're reffing all the time.
There's so much ref work.
Yeah.
With all the different leagues and men's and women's and all that.
So Ben, since this was my first time with the ref whistle, I wanted you to rate my ref performance.
You mean like out of 10?
Yeah, or give me like a grade, like a B, C.
I would say first time reffing, if I was judging you among all refs that I've seen, I would give you maybe a 4, 4.5.
Oh, 4 out of 10.
But I think that you already are above about 3 refs I can think of on the top of my head.
Okay, I'll take that.
So I think you might almost bring up the average of the state a little bit.
Wow. Okay, I'll take that as a compliment.
That sounds mean. I love a lot of the refs in the state.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think we have some good refs here.
We do.
But I'm trying to get my hands on the film.
You did get absolutely dumpstered by a high school boy.
I did, and got put on my ass. So, for my first time, I didn't really realize the game moves fast, right? It's sevens.
Yeah.
And high school boys are just fast in general, and I maybe underestimated how fast.
They're quick.
So yeah, I got knocked down. I am still trying to get some film of that, so that way I can make it a corn-fed low light.
That'd be a good post.
Good views, good clicks. But yeah. So, and then all of the scores, it was I had to do a lot of running. That is a lot of running for a 7-minute half.
Mm-hmm.
For a 14-minute game, like I don't think I'm out of shape, but my God, you really gotta do some running.
Yeah. It can be tough. I remember, I think my first time ever reffing was the Galena
the Farm Boys tournament,
the Generals Cup they call it. And I think there's 4 teams there, and they all played each other in a round robin. So it's like, I don't know, what is that, 9 matches? Something like, they played like 8 or 9 matches. And I reffed every single one of them back to back in 7s.
Oh, God.
And I remember in the last game, someone pulled a ball from a ruck and got a line break, and I started going after, and both my calves cramped at the same time. So I ran on my heels as fast as I could after.
Refs down.
I know, it was almost like that Six Nations ref who had to be like, I cannot continue the game. My body has failed me.
I forgot that happened. Was that the first week of games?
I don't remember.
That was one of the first 2 weeks.
I just would have been so embarrassed to do that the very first time I reffed.
Poor guy. Yeah.
But they put me through the ringer. I didn't know I was reffing that alone.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But it is fun. I encourage anybody if you're even slightly interested in reffing, definitely take the time to go get the cert. There's definitely opportunities around the state, whether you want to just do high school, you want to keep going and do senior side, do college, level up. The opportunity is there, and we need them.
If you just want to learn about the game. I
mean, it is a great way
because I know
learn.
Guys that have taken the ref course, never took a step further, didn't do anything else. They just wanted to see if they think they'd like it, learn a bit about the rules, maybe make themselves better players, and it never goes away. You can decide 10 years later you want to start doing it.
Mm-hmm. I will say I don't want to say I thought it was easy, because I don't think I thought it was easy at any point.
Do you mean the course or reffing?
No, reffing in general. But it was knowing where to stand, which was also part of the reason I got put on my ass, it's more difficult than I thought.
There's a lot of little things that you take for granted as a player,
Yeah.
and then you actually try and do certain aspects. I think that you get this like from position to position,
Hmm.
or if you're a forward, you're like effing backs. Like they
Yeah,
can't
right.
even run a ball line.
Oh,
And then
they're
you
just
watch
gonna knock
then you
it
watch
on
forwards run
again.
a ball line, it's the ugliest thing you've ever seen. And then backs are like, guys, come on, what do we walk into scrum
Yeah,
for?
what do you
you
mean?
know? I think it's just you see someone else doing it, it can't be that hard.
Yeah,
It's kind of hard.
it is hard. So shout out to all the refs. It's difficult. They talked about this on the good and the scads and the rugby too, but it's positioning is difficult. It's very hard, but it's very rewarding too.
Mhm.
Transitioning now into college rugby, Iowa was very fortunate the month of February to host a couple of tournaments, the Hawkeye Classic. Ben had the ref whistle again for the Hawkeye Classic both weekends. That first weekend, February 21st, was the Women's Hawkeye Classic. They had 3 divisions in that. They had a D1 AA automatic qualifier. Then they had a competitive division and then an open division. 23 teams in total. They had 11 in the automatic qualifier, which was so fun. I went and watched and just kind of hung around there. Final 4 for the tournament ended up being Iowa and Ohio State, and Iowa took the win in that semifinal match, 22-15. And then the other semifinal was Boise State and Michigan. Boise State squeaking by in that one, 19-17. So Iowa, Boise State in the final. Came down to the wire. Iowa State beat Boise State 26-17, took the automatic qualifier at home. Was super cool. I think you and I talked, that Boise State team was no joke. I mean,
Yeah.
Iowa's no joke, but that Boise
Mhm.
State team was fun to watch.
I honestly, watching the first games of the day, Iowa surprised me. I thought they played better as the day went on.
Yes.
I
They
really
actually lost to Boise
through
State
pools,
early, I
yeah,
believe.
through pools. I'm not sure if they lost to
Or
Boise
maybe it
State,
was
but
Boise State. They
I just
lost
remember
early. The first game of the day, Iowa lost.
I just
don't
remember being
to
like,
who.
I don't think this is Iowa's tournament. Like,
Mhm.
not that they wouldn't do good, but watching them actually, the energy they brought through the playoff matches, and they seem
Mhm.
to get better and better, and they have an insane sideline.
Yes,
They were
they
so
do.
good at hyping. I don't know or don't
Yeah.
understand what Stella is, but they love it.
They
and it
do.
gets them fired
They
up.
do. And you only know what Stella is if you're an Iowa rugby player. I've
Apparently.
asked. I've tried. I've tried to get them to tell me. They won't. It's a very well kept secret. So I shout out to them. But yeah, it was super fun to watch all day. That just it being at home, I think definitely helps.
I think that amps like just the energy they get on the
Mhm.
field. We're like,
Turf
they
you're
get a
familiar with.
turnover or a big run,
Yeah.
and the whole sideline's going nuts.
Yeah.
And the players on the other team start panicking and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Herky showed up. That was dope. People were super excited that Herky was there. So shout out Herky. But yeah, that was awesome. Super fun to watch all day. But yeah, Iowa took that one. And then in the competitive bracket, final 4 was Aquinas, or no, just the final match I wrote down. Aquinas versus Wisconsin Eau Claire, and Wisconsin Eau Claire took that 32-5. But I did want to specifically shout out Lily Stow from Aquinas, a freshman. She actually played Waverly Shell Rock last year in their championship team, and I remember watching her playing throughout the day. I don't remember if you saw this happen on the sideline, but I remember watching her play, and I was like, that is a stud athlete. Like she has got to been playing rugby for a long time. And then come to find out, that was who it was. I recognized her face, could not remember her name. I think she was seeing the trainer for some kind of treatment or something before the championship, and they were like writing down names, and she goes, "Oh, Lily Stow," and I was like, "That's who you are." So then I asked her, you played at Waverly, right? And so it was super cool. And super cool just to see Iowa players come out. Aquinas is a rugby school. So she's doing the right thing. She went to the right place. I mean, that's a great fit for her. She was stellar all day. That team just overall had a lot of talent. So super fun to watch. But Eau Claire, wow, 32-5 in the championship. I've played on a senior side team against Eau Claire's college team. They are the real deal. They beat me on a senior side team. And I don't want to say senior side is where it's at, but I've played other college teams on senior side, and you can tell the difference.
A good senior side team, it's usually a wake up call for some college teams.
Yeah. It was.
There's some bad senior side teams that just aren't fit that a college team will run all around. But then there's some good senior side teams that are just
And they dusted
some
us.
32-year-old who doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
They'll wake up call some college kids. But
it was the exact opposite. Like I remember at Pig Fest, we played some college teams there, and I think it was Pig Fest when we played them this past summer. We were, dunking on college teams the whole day, and then we play Eau Claire, and Eau Claire has just got it put together. I mean, I think they had just come off a championship run within the last couple years, so I mean, they were a tight group, and yeah, they put us to shame. But then I poured on to another team, and we beat them. So, but anyway, so I gotta give props to Eau Claire. They are the real deal. Great team. And then in the open division, final was McKendree and South Dakota. South Dakota took the win 24-17, but honestly, the whole day, just great rugby. It was great to be around that. Great to have a lot of women's teams coming together for a big tournament. I mean, that was a full day. We got there at like 7. I think we left at like 8 or 9 at night.
I mean, that's got to be like, is that the biggest tournament in the Midwest for women?
23, for college women, probably, yeah.
Teams?
23 teams, yeah.
That's crazy.
It was crazy, yeah. And it was well run. Kathleen and the whole Iowa squad did a great job. Men's club was there helping out. I mean, all the refs. It went really well. Ohio
State, how far away?
Boise from Idaho.
South Dakota, Boise.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. No, it was awesome. It was very cool.
Shout out Kathleen O'Neill.
Yeah, shout out Kathleen O'Neill and the Iowa club. We got a lot of shout outs rolling today, but that's what we're here for. That's what the pod's for. Got to recognize the good people. And then the following weekend was the men's Hawkeye Classic. They only had the 2 divisions, the competitive and the open. Due to lack of teams, they couldn't have the automatic qualifier. So just the 2 divisions there. I didn't make it to this one, but I saw that Iowa won the competitive division here too. And then Iowa Central took the open division. I don't know if you have any insight here, Ben, on what that looked like that weekend.
It was another great tournament. I mostly enjoyed, I was reffing that one. I mostly enjoyed seeing that multiple Iowa teams showing up and doing good. Like Iowa Central showing up and balling out, winning the social. UNI was there.
Yep.
I don't think Iowa State was there unless I missed them. But I just love seeing, seeing kids that I saw reffed in high school that are all playing at second level or college level for some of these Iowa teams. And also, I love seeing Iowa win. No offense to Iowa Central, but I just like seeing parity. I like seeing, because Iowa Central for years just dominated every college competition. And I love seeing another team, Iowa, come up and challenge them in the state. That just, it does. I don't think Iowa Central is getting worse. I just think other rugby in the state's also getting better.
Up. Yeah.
And I love seeing that.
I would agree with that too. I think on both sides.
Yeah.
UNI has historically been really good for women. Iowa, I think, is leveling out the playing field. And then Iowa State, they're building a great program there. I mean, it's coming a long way. They've got a lot of young players. The coaches there are really dedicated to getting these players where they want to be. Iowa Central bringing in Matt Ramirez, developing a program. Like, rugby in the state it's leveling up really well, especially at that level.
Yeah. And just one quick shout out, fella who played for Iowa. I want to make sure I pronounce his name right. It's probably wrong.
Okay, go ahead.
Ren Heimer, Heimer. He's a dude I played with a little bit in the summer for the Marion Mutants, and he plays fly half for Iowa, and he is a ball player.
Is he?
He had at least 3 solo tries, just chip and chases to himself. He's an incredible kicker.
Yeah.
And he was just an impressive player to watch. He balled out all day. Really helped that Iowa team win, so shout out Ren.
Hell yeah. That's what we love to hear. And that staying in the state too, playing here in the summer, working on their craft, that's awesome. So shout out everyone in the state at that college level. Like, we see you, everybody sees you. It is cool to watch you keep doing your thing. So keep working on your craft, keep leveling up. We want to keep seeing you. We want to keep shouting you out. And then last thing for college was just about 2 weeks ago now, Iowa got another cool opportunity at the Des Moines Rugby Club. They hosted Air Force. Looked like a lot of people turned up for this game, Iowa Air Force. Des Moines covered a lot of it on their Facebook. So if you want to see coverage of the game, some cool pregame and postgame stuff with the crowd, go check it out on Des Moines' page on Facebook. But the final score was 24-17 Air Force. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff happening at the college level in this state. Guys getting opportunities. If rugby is something you want to keep doing after high school, definitely look into it. I mean, it's there are opportunities. People want you to play. If you've got the heart, if you've got the drive to keep getting better, it is there for you. All right, moving on to senior side rugby, since that's what Benjamin and I do. Ben and I are both playing rugby this upcoming weekend. Ben gets to stay a little bit closer to home, play in Clinton's Fishbone Tens tournament. This is the second time they've done this tournament.
Yeah, this is their second year doing it.
Ben's got a lot to live up to. Last year, Dubuque took home the trophy, and Ben was man of the tournament. Pretty exciting. I got to wear the coaching hat for that last year, so that was my first tournament win, so I'll take that. Actually, in our house, there is a plaque from the Open division, the Open senior side division from the Hawkeye Classic. What was that, like 3 years ago?
Probably.
2 years ago? Where we got second. And I refused to give that to the club because that was a personal win for me. So that plaque will forever stay in the house. So Dubuque, sorry, that plaque stays here. But anyway, we've got a little bit of hardware in this house. Ben, what are you looking forward to this weekend playing in the second ever Clinton Fishbone Tens tournament?
I'm just glad to be playing rugby again. I'm glad that it's going to be 70-degree weather, hopefully. It's probably going to be muddy as all get out with the snow we got.
Which is fitting for Clinton's team.
Yeah.
Muddy River.
True. Yep. It is going to be
very fitting.
It's going to look ugly. But, every start of rugby season, you always think you're in shape. At least I do.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be running and then I'll play my first rugby game and I'll get a wake-up call.
Yeah.
So that's probably inevitably coming.
Mm-hmm. We got a lot of new guys going, too.
Yeah, Dubuque's got a lot of new guys. I know. I'm just happy to see Clinton still play any rugby, It's
That's
always good to see them keep. I really hope they'll be able to have a full team again. I think they're doing the right thing by keeping, they don't have enough guys to do dedicated year-round everything, but just keeping guys around 2, 3, 4 events a year, getting them in, working on the high school team.
Yeah, their high school team is solid. Numbers there are solid, so I hope that continues to feed into that. And they have a really nice clubhouse and setup for where they have the tournament.
They do.
So that's always a plus. And then this weekend, I get to play rugby for the first time in, 6 months since I broke my back in a car accident. I'm going to Nash Bash with Palmer, and we're playing 15s. So I'm kind of in for I think they're 40-minute games, but
yeah, I think
we're in the competitive division, so we're looking to go out there and have some fun, hopefully win it, but we'll be in Nashville, so, Nashville things will happen, but I'm itching to play rugby. I know once the first hit happens, I may feel a little bit differently, but I haven't been on a rugby pitch in over 6 months, so I am so ready to play rugby. So Ben and I get to play some rugby. We'll be playing rugby all spring. Got a few different games. We actually have a game the same day at the same location. So that's fun. We never really get to see each other play. So we get to kind of soak that up a little bit. But and then later this spring on May 2nd and 3rd, we have the All Iowa Rugby Tournament. There is still time to sign up for that tournament. Men's will be doing a competitive and a social division for 15s. Women's side will be doing 10s. We have a record number of women's teams signed up right now. So something you want to definitely get in on. We're looking still for both men's and women's teams. It will be a sort of like a glow-in-the-dark neon theme. We're giving out awards for best camp. So come dress in your best neon. Deck out your camp with glow sticks and lights and all those things. We'll be doing glow touch rugby at night. We've got special balls being made, which is super cool. I don't know that we've ever done that, at least since I've been in All Iowa, which is dope. So if your team's looking to fill out the schedule, May 2nd and 3rd in Iowa Falls, you can reach out to the Corn-Fed Rugby Podcast directly or Iowa Falls Rugby Club directly, and we can get you hooked up there, but we'd love to have you here. Camping on the pitch, all the fun stuff. So it'll be a good weekend. Great weekend, truly. That's actually where I played my first ever rugby, was that a few years ago. So I can't really speak highly enough about the tournament. So, and then another tournament I wanted to shout out here. I was reached out to on Instagram to shout out an old boys tournament happening in New Orleans. April 18th, the Voodoo Rugby Club is hosting an old boys tournament down in New Orleans. So 35 plus. If you're looking to get involved in some rugby or on the older side, rugby's still happening. They still want you out there. We still want you out there. So I've got all the information. Feel free to send me direct message, Facebook or Instagram, Cornfed Rugby Podcast, and we can get you hooked up with that info. But sounds like a great tournament happening down in New Orleans. I'm always looking for reasons to travel, so it's cool that they're doing those kinds of tournaments for people of all ages, but definitely something to look forward to. All right, and then wrapping up the last section, and arguably the most important section because I've covered a lot in here, the international rugby section. So, two very eventful things. I guess three, technically, if you want to count Six Nations, but we talked about that first episode. But within the last month, two exciting things on the women's side of rugby happened. Toward the end of February, Portia Woodman-Wycliffe retired from rugby for the second time. She retired, I think, last year.
The Brett Favre of women's rugby.
She did pull the Brett Favre.
That's what people are calling her.
So Portia retired, and then I think came out of retirement for the World Cup, and then finished the World Cup and retired again. But I want to talk to you about some of her career stats now that she has officially retired, but I'm going to hold out hope because of the British and Irish Lions tour happening in New Orleans. Or not New Orleans, New Zealand.
What year is that happening? Is that happening
next year, 2027? I was really hoping she would wait and like do that tour because it's the first ever one. So I'm holding out hope that that she'll pull a Brett Favre again and unretire and then do that tournament and then retire again.
Okay, non-Portia question.
Hit me.
That women's British and Irish Lions tour.
Yeah.
What percentage of it is going to be England players, do you think?
Oh.
Like, is it going to be 75%? Is it going to look like Wales did at the at the men's where they just add Jack Morgan? Like, they just add Apo Wafer?
Yeah.
And so, like,
well, no, there's some good Irish players.
I know, but there's really good English players, too.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could put that whole team on there, really. If you just went by straight talent right now, I think you could argue that 75% of it would be England, but I don't think they'll do that. I think that's a cop-out in a bit. Like, I think they will genuinely look at everyone, England, Ireland, Wales, Scotland, and pull, like, I'm still working through my World Cup rewatch to talk about. There is a lot of talent in all four of those squads. I mean, there's a lot of talent in all the women's squads, but those four specifically do. But my early prediction is the bulk of it will be English players. But I don't know, a lot could happen in a year. Maybe Portia will retire in a year. Speaking of Portia, some of her notable achievements throughout her rugby career, she played in 34 international tests, 81.8% win rate in those tests, which is kind of crazy. She won 28 of those matches. In those, 50 tries, and 8 of those came against Hong Kong on August 13th, 2017. 8 tries. That's 40 points by one player in a game. No conversions, no penalty goals, nothing. That's insane. With that, she also holds the record for most tries by a New Zealand player, man or woman, with 50. And so then when you break that down for the tests, that's 1.47 tries per test. Which I think
insane. That's an insane number.
Insane.
It kind of shocks me.
I think she only played 7 against the U.S.
That she only played 34 tests.
34. She played a lot of 7s.
Yeah, I know. That's just because women's game wasn't really a 15s game, until more recently. But that try, because I think that record is going to get broken. That try rate
is crazy.
Because Will Jordan's only 5 behind.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to take that. And
I think there are even women in New Zealand who could break that.
Yeah.
Like Braxton Sorensen McGee is, I mean, she's young and she's just getting started, but imagine what her career is going to look like.
Yeah, she'll have a ton.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that rate will ever be beaten. 1.47 is like the highest I've ever seen any player have. Like,
unless you look at nuts. LBB right now.
Well, it's not. But it's not like even 1.0.
1.1 at best.
Yeah.
I think he's got 26 tests and 29 tries or something like that.
And that's an insane rate. And she has 1.47.
1.47. Yeah, it is wild.
You only see those numbers in D3. I mean,
What's yours, Ben? What's your try rate?
I don't know.
It's probably pretty good.
Probably lower than Portia's.
If you had to guess, Do you think you have a 1.0 try rate per
Yes.
test? Do you think you have better than a 1.25?
I don't know. I'd have to be.
But you think you've got?
I'd have to be a
you
big
think you
enough
have a
loser to
1.0?
count every single D3 try.
It's the real question.
Is the real,
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't know the answer to that.
That's
is
fair.
my question.
We could do some digging. Portia was also the first woman to have both 200 women's 7 series tries, and that happened in 2022, and then she got to 250 tries in the 7 series in 2024. And that's in 7's appearances, which is crazy. She also is a 2-time gold medal winner in Women's World Cup and a 1-time bronze winner, the bronze coming this year. 2-time Olympic gold medal winner in 7s and a silver medal in 7s. 2-time gold medal winner in the Rugby World Cup 7s and a 1-time silver medal winner. She was the 2015 Women's World Rugby Player of the Year and the 2017 Women's World Rugby Player of the Year and the 2020 Women's World Rugby 7s Player of the Decade.
Those are some accolades.
Yeah.
She's all right at rugby.
Oh, she was pretty good. I don't know. She was pretty good. She, is, as of right now, the greatest women's rugby player of all time.
Yes. At this point, she retires. Yes.
Yeah.
Also, maybe forever, she might have the craziest highlight set.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Ever seen.
She is.
If you ever look them up on YouTube,
especially the Olympic highlights.
Like Ilona Maher has some just stupid, stupid highlights where it's like, how does she do that? Portia is not built like Ilona Maher.
No.
But oh my god, have you seen the one where she goes to poach a ball with a girl over top of her and then picks the girl up on her back and keeps running?
Yes.
She is so crazy.
If there was one woman on the rugby pitch I would not want to face, I think it would be Portia.
I feel like she would have dominated women's MMA.
Oh god.
She looks like the toughest person I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. I hope she goes into commentary of some kind or something, because she's just she has a personality for being in the spotlight too. She's just so fun to watch and interact with and see that stuff. I would love to just sit and listen to her analysis. I also would love if the Good Scaz and the Rugby had her on. So Good Scaz Rugby. You definitely don't listen to the Corn Fed Rugby podcast, but if you do, so you should have.
You can say that. I don't believe any wing has good analysis at rugby.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
And then I caught the ball, and then I ran straight. And then I knocked someone over, and then I kept running.
Yeah, I think, but I remember watching this past year, the game against the U.S., she had 7 tries against the U.S., and there are just clips of her where it's her and Ilona Maher in the corner, heading to the corner, and Alona's just trying to keep her out, and you just can't. She is just a goddess among women. One of one for sure. Do you think, if you looked at the best rugby players of all time, men and women, is she up there if you add her into the men's conversation?
I don't know. It's so tough because she's got the 7s-15 split for most of her career. That just kind of cuts her career in half. You could make 2 arguments.
Yep.
And then there's also just the fact that I value 15s way more.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't the dominant game for women.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's kind of apples to oranges.
Mm-hmm.
Not only women's versus men, but 7s versus 15s. And also the fact that the women's game up until a couple years ago still felt super, super, super top heavy for England, New Zealand.
Yeah.
Kind of like how men's rugby was in the 90s and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
where it's New Zealand, pretty much dominated everyone, and then England was pretty good, and
Wales was good.
Yeah, it kind of felt like that. It was just, I feel like if you're trying to say GOAT men or women, it's tough because New Zealand was just a dominant team for a really long time, and of course she's going to put up crazy stats when she's a great player on that team.
Fair. That's fair. Definitely best women's player of all time as of right now. And I agree with your analysis. I think maybe ever, because I think some of those records will stand for a very long time, if not forever. Another eventful thing in the women's game, Holly Davidson, 33 years old. She is out here opening doors and smashing records for women all over the rugby scene. So let me just read some of her notable achievements within the last 9-10 years. So 2017, she gets put as Scotland's first ever full-time female pro referee.
And she was a pro player.
She was. U20, she was a scrum half. She dislocated her shoulder and then had like subsequent surgeries and just couldn't get back to the level that she wanted to. So then instead of, she actually worked like a full-time, I think she was like working an econ job, and then decided to get back into rugby, picked up the whistle, became a ref, and I mean, look where it's taken her. So 2024, she became the first woman to ref a Springboks match. 2025, she became the only woman to ref 2 Rugby World Cup finals. 2025 again, she became the first woman to ref an All Blacks test. 2025, she was also inducted into the Scottish Rugby Hall of Fame. She was also given the World Rugby Referee of the Year award in 2025. And then just this year, 2026, she became the first woman to center ref a Six Nations match. How crazy. A lot of people are saying she's the best ref in the world right now. What are your thoughts?
People say a lot of stuff.
People do say a lot of stuff.
I think she's great. I think she's really good. I think it's too early to say she's the best in the world.
I mean, she's only 33 and she's already done all
I agree.
This.
Like,
33.
Come back in 2 years.
I'm almost 33.
Come back in 2 years, and I would almost expect her to be number one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wouldn't. It wouldn't.
If she's not already,
it wouldn't shock me if she's in the conversation for the men's Rugby World Cup final.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
In 2027.
That'd be dope.
It would be dope. You know, and she deserved, like, because I think she did a great job with the Six Nations game they gave her. You know, she did the Women's World Cup.
She is just, I mean, I don't want to say this and sound offensive, but she looks so much older when she's on the pitch. And I don't mean that, but it's just like the way she carries herself,
it's like an authority
and channels
thing.
it is, yeah. Like if you look at her pictures of her off the pitch and look at the pictures of her on the pitch, not necessarily two different people, but she just carries herself like super well.
When
and just is in the authoritative role, like looks a little bit older. Yeah, she is. I mean, I'm obsessed with her right now.
Mm-hmm.
If I could meet one person in rugby right now in the world, it would be Holly Davidson.
You just like Scottish accents.
I do. She does also have a very satisfying accent. But she is just, I mean, she's so good for the game of rugby, and the fact that her story is, I was a player and now I can't play, but here's what I can do instead. I think that's amazing, because like there are so many women who, whether it's for one reason or another, can't play rugby, and men even too. I mean, you stop playing rugby at some point, you just can't keep up, an injury happens, this, that, or the other thing. What do you want to stay involved? What do? You could coach, you could ref, you could get into commentary. I mean, there are things to do. Being in rugby doesn't mean you have to just be a player. And I think that her story being that is super impactful, especially for this generation when feel like our lives end when we can no longer play the sport that we love, right? It's crazy. But God, she's just, if you ask me, I'm a little biased because she is a woman. I'm a little biased, but I think if she's not the best in the world right now, she's top 3, and she's certainly not 3. I think the only other person who I might put above her, I really like Angus Gardner.
I do too.
I think Angus Gardner does a very good job. I think he's also kind of witty and funny on the pitch. But other than those two, I don't know who else you put above her. I mean, she definitely should be in the conversation. I mean, if she's not center reffing men's Rugby World Cup final, she will certainly be on as an AR, and she'll be in that tournament for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a shame that she's not, but she is. Yeah, she's just so good for the game of rugby. And then, last but not least, a little tournament happened this past month and a half. Men's Six Nations. I ate a lot of words from my first episode where I was gung-ho on England. Boy, so was like 90% of the rest of the world.
Yeah, I think about half people had them winning Six Nations.
Good God.
Also, just for the record, we participated in the B-Side Boys
we did. Yep.
Every week.
We started out really hot too.
3-0 the first week, and then I got 2 out of the next 12 to finish second to last.
Isn't that something?
And I was talking so much
You
shit.
talked a lot of smack, and now I think we may have to eat our words and do some sort of punishment. So, shout out Sam Hendricks. Sam Hendricks started hot, ended hot, stayed hot throughout, won it all. Sam knows his stuff. Did you see they're looking at giving Sam the title of international rugby correspondent?
I did.
I think I can get behind that.
I
Have
just want to
shirts
say
made?
I blame England because I
Yeah.
kept picking them to bounce back. I'm like, they're a good team. They're gonna do
They
better this
are.
week, and
I
then
don't
they
know
lose
what
again
happened.
and again and
Oh
again.
God! As an England fan, this was the most depressing Six Nations.
If England played Wales week 5, I would have been nervous if I was England.
If England played Wales every week, they may have only won one time.
And they killed them.
And they did. And then we were all just, I mean, what, they scored like 40 points or something? Or won by 40? We were all like, oh, this is England. This is great. And then just, for lack of better words, they just shit the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, God. I don't know. People are calling for Borthwick to step out. It's crazy. The rundown, though, is that Ireland won the Triple Crown.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't win the whole thing because they needed a little help from England the last week. So France won back-to-back Six Nations.
Mm-hmm.
So Ireland finished second, winning the Triple Crown. Scotland shocked everyone and actually had a good Six Nations, took third.
Beat France.
Nobody
saw that one coming. Beat France pretty handedly.
They did. Yeah, that was a shocking game.
France, when they beat France, they put up 50-something points. France broke the record for most points scored in a loss in the Six Nations. That record stood for 1 week when England lost to France the next week.
Oh, boy. Thanks.
I think France put up like 43 points in a loss, and then England put up 46 in a loss in back-to-back weeks.
Speaking of French records broken by French, LBB, Louis B. Albiré, had the record for most tries in a Six Nations with 8 last year, breaks his own record this year with 9 tries, 4 in the last game against England. So that one hurt a little bit. It was really cool, but
the kids got panache.
The kids got something. Rounding out the rest of the table, Italy, shocking again, finishing 4th. England, 5th, and Wales taking the wooden spoon for another year in a row. Mm-hmm. Right? They got it last year, or was it Italy? I don't know. Wales has a lot of wooden spoons. Last year. They got a lot of wooden spoons.
Did you get the wooden spoon if you're just in last, or is it if you don't win any?
I think it's. I think it's just from getting last.
Okay. Yeah.
But I could be wrong.
To me, it was such a that people were saying this, and this is something the commentators were all saying. This might have been the most fun Six Nations to
100%.
watch ever. At least since I've been watching. I've only watched 4 years probably. But like just the parity between teams is so tight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Ireland loses kind of handedly to France, and then they barely beat Wales, and then they go out and they stomp England.
Yeah.
And then
there was a circle where every team beat another team to complete the circle.
Correct. It was and like even France looked dominant, and then they still drop a game.
Almost lose to
England.
And
they're high scoring games.
Yep.
And I think every team has something to look forward to by the end of the tournament.
Unless you're England, I don't think we have anything to look forward to.
But I think you do, because I think you guys were so close to beating France, who's probably a top 3 team in the world right now. And you got I feel like that was the best game you guys played. You know, because you beat the brakes off Wales, but they weren't. Wales, I think, played terrible.
The Scotland game was pretty bad.
Scotland beat France. They're happy with how they did.
Yep.
They beat France and England. That's their Super Bowl.
Pretty much.
Ireland loses week 1, finishes strong, almost wins. They win the Triple Crown. They're hype. Italy beats England.
For the first time ever.
Yeah.
First time ever they beat England.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, beat England, beat Scotland.
Beat them week 1 in that monsoon game. Yeah.
So they're hyped. And then Wales gets their first win over Italy. So they they at least win a game, and they looked better every game.
Yep.
And then France wins it.
Yeah.
So I think every team had something to kind of look forward to that they were building towards by the end.
Looking at every team then too, who do you think were the top performers of each team, or who stood out to you the most for each team? Going through France, let's talk about France first.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you could talk about LBB,
the
try-scoring machine, but let's talk about the other wing, Theo Adesogbi. Really kind of came out of the woodworks with Pinaud being out of the team. I think solidly locking in that other wing position going forward.
I still think Pinaud's better.
I don't know that I agree or disagree,
player.
But for the foreseeable future with him not being in the squad, Adesogbi, I thought he played really well.
I thought he played good too. I just think Pinaud is still a world-class winger, and I don't really get why France's coach Gauthier did not even bother bringing him into the squad, like not even on their match day. He didn't even bring him into the squad, and he didn't bring who is
Gregory Aldridge.
Gregory Aldridge. And I thought they bounced around a few different 8-man players, France did, and I always thought their back row was their weakest link.
Guile Ficou was also not in the squad.
But I think they had some strong center replacements.
Yeah.
But I just didn't get the Aldrit and the Pinaud drops, because I think Aldrit played awesome last Six Nations the year before, and they say that he hasn't been playing good club rugby, but some players disappear for club rugby, and then they come back to international stuff and just dominate.
Unless you're Owen Farrell, then you only show up for club rugby.
Yeah,
who's your France standout then?
It's got to be LBB.
LBB.
I think Matthew Jalibert kind of got himself the 10 jersey. Him and Roman Antamac were both playing there.
Yeah.
And
moving forward, it's definitely him.
Yep. Baptiste Saran, the backup scrum half behind Dupont, might honestly be a top 5 scrum half in the world.
He's behind number 1, arguably.
France has probably 4 of the top 10 scrum halves in the world.
Yeah.
They've got Sebastian. They got Luku.
Yeah.
They've got Nolan Laguerre.
Yep.
They've got Baptiste Saran,
and
they've got Dupont. And all 4 of those are incredible scrum halves that would probably be starting on any other team in the tournament, maybe besides JGP on Ireland.
I think you could make a solid case for anyone else, but yeah.
But just an incredible scrum half depth. So those guys played awesome. But I'd still have to give it to LBB. Ramos also stud. I think he led Six Nations 3 years in a row in points.
Yeah.
And he broke onto the top 10 all-time point scorers for Six Nations.
He did. Crushed my dreams in the 82nd minute of the England game. I thought also the second rows for France really kind of came out and were studs. I think they had 3 people they were rotating into the lock
Gaillard,
positions.
Clement, and Olivan.
Yeah, all of them really showed up and showed out, which was awesome. Ireland, I think you can also take the wing. Well, no, I think there's a clear one, but I want to give flowers where flowers are due to Balakoon.
Mm-hmm. The cat.
The cat.
Apparently they call him.
Yeah, I think, I don't remember what big award it was or big group. He won new Six Nations Player of the Year.
Six Nations Newcomer of the Year.
Yeah.
Or Rising Star or something like that.
But the clear standout for Ireland is Stuart McCloskey.
Stuart McCloskey. Big Stu.
You look at the leaderboards for all of the stats throughout the Six Nations, it's Stuart McCloskey for Ireland on most of those. If an Ireland player is on it, it's Stuart McCloskey.
Mm-hmm. Which is
it's crazy. Yeah.
Because to me, I started watching rugby 4 years ago. Feels like he came out of nowhere.
Yes.
Apparently he had been capped with Ireland multiple times back in dating back to 2017, and then just kind of had to compete with Bundyaki at that position for a long time. And Bundyaki, nominated
shout out
for
Bundyaki for being a D-bag and fighting that ref.
True. He was nominated for World Player of the Year. He was probably Ireland's best player in the World Cup in 23. Incredible player, but now he's starting to go out of form.
And
McCloskey getting old. And McCloskey just steps right back in off of his club team. I think he plays for Ulster. And is just instantly Ireland's best but he's their best playmaker.
Yeah.
Breaking tackles, chasing down Marcus Smith, making football pass offloads.
Oh my gosh.
And he's old. He's 33,
So some people talk about the fact that Ireland invests too much time into these old guys. What do you say to that?
I say to that people overreacted because they lost to France, and then they went to pretty much handedly win every other match in the Six Nations. With a combination of old, and they capped, I want to say 4 or 5 people for their first ever caps.
Pretty young. Yeah.
Balakoon got his first cap.
Yep.
Dara Murray got his first cap.
Yep.
I want to say a couple different props got their first caps.
Craig Casey's solidly young. I think.
Casey's super young.
Jack Crowley's still young.
Tommy O'Brien. The Jack Crowley and Prendergast are young, but Jack Crowley definitely played better. So I really think people are overreacting. I do think that when we lose Jamison Gibson Park, it's going to hurt.
I think after this 2027 World Cup, Ireland may have to, I don't want to say full rebuild, but there will be a bit of a rebuild. I think you'll see a lot of people leave.
They're going to miss Tad Byrne a lot too when he's gone. he is an animal for him.
I think the hooker,
Dan Sheehan.
I think he's solidly young too.
He's 25 or 26.
So I mean, they have a core to build around. Kalen Doris is probably solidly young.
Yeah, he's.
I think
not
Josh
30
Vanderpleer's young.
No,
so
Vanderpleer's over 30.
Is he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But yeah, solid group to build around. So it'll be interesting after the World Cup to kind of see what they do. Scotland's standout, in your opinion? We might just be talking about wingers in every discussion. Kyle Stain. On the wing.
I don't know if he was my standout, but he was definitely the one that surprised me the most.
People were talking about him, for sure.
He was the one that I didn't really have much about going into, and then turned into probably the best winger.
Yeah.
He had a ton of meters.
What about Wee Darcy?
Darcy Graham played awesome. I still think Finn Russell. Just that team.
He is the guy.
That team doesn't do anything without Finn Russell, and Tui Pelotu and Hugh Jones also make an awesome combo for him.
Gotta shout out Rory Darge in the pack, though.
True.
Rory Darge is a workhorse. He is kind of one of those Stuart McCloskeys where if you look at the stats, he is more than likely going to be the Scottish guy on the stats. Turnover machine. Tackle machine. Just great at doing the utility dirty work. Maybe he doesn't score all the time, but he's out there doing the work. Got the work rate going.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. But to me, it's still Finn Russell.
I don't know that I agree, but I don't think your pick is bad. I think Kyle Stain, just because of the hype, I don't know. It's hard not to give it to a winger. Like I said, I think you could talk about a winger on any of these teams, really. Maybe not Wales, but yeah.
I'll talk about Ellis Me.
Well, yeah, I guess that might be the only one. England then in fourth, or no? Who did I say got fourth?
Italy.
Italy got fourth. So Italy's. I mean, you could talk about their whole lineup, probably. Stand out there for Italy.
It's Meningella.
Yeah. Open, closed. He's the best guy in that tournament.
Did he lead in line breaks?
Probably.
He had so many.
Yeah.
Where he just blasts through. Awesome defender, awesome jackler, tremendous carrier.
Just the heart and soul of that team, truly.
Yes, he is so good. I think he's probably the best center in the world.
I do not disagree with you.
When we were doing Six Nations Fantasy, I picked him and Stuart McCloskey every single week, and it never disappointed.
I was actually, when you picked your team, I was pretty mad I didn't get Meningella. That was kind of me dropping the ball. We don't have to talk about how everything turned out. Clearly, it was you that won, but
then also shout out to both Italy's props, Danilo Fischetti and Simone Ferrari. Italy had a crazy good scrum. I think they had the best. I don't know. It's either them or England were both really close in winning their own scrum percentage and winning their opponent's scrum percentage. And yeah, there's a viral image where they lifted Tad Furlong.
And that never happens.
He was like, they lifted Ireland's scrum up so high that Tad Furlong was like upside down in the air.
That was crazy. I've only ever seen that happen one time before. That was insane. I want to shout out Paolo Garbisi. Since the first Six Nations I've ever watched, have been a huge fan of his. I've talked about him, to you, probably every Six Nations. He is like Meningella is the heart and soul of Italy, but that guy is just, he is solid. He's good.
I think that's going to be a center fly half combination for the next
a long
10
time.
years. For Italy,
and they're both young. How cool too! His younger brother. Garbisi's younger brother plays scrum half, and so they get to hook up, which I think is cool. 9 to 10, that's pretty cool. And then so now getting to talk about England, disappointing England. I gotta give flowers to my boy, Tommy Freeman. I can't not. Playing out of position, in a position that he said he wants to play more, but playing out of position for most of the Six Nations, I thought was solid.
I was going to say, it's not really out of position. I think they want him to play center for the World Cup.
I think it is something they both want. But I'm not convinced. I think we need the winger injury bug to stay away. Because not having Faye Waboso for most of that sucked.
Yeah.
Arundel Arundel did what I have read him to do.
He's a win more winger.
He's lazy.
Yeah, like he'll help
If the
you.
work isn't cut out for him, he won't do it.
He'll help you put up a hat trick against a bad team, but
But
you
he
put him
won't.
against,
He won't make the tackles.
he disappears against better teams. It
Yeah,
feels like.
you see him jogging in some of those clips where tries happen right in front of him. Like the effort wasn't there. It was kind of sad. But the real man of England, Ben Earl. It's always Ben Earl.
Yeah, it's
That
gotta
guy
be.
is just.
He felt like the one bright spot.
Yeah, and I just. Oh, he's also a guy that drifts out into the center, which I think is kind of fun
Mm-hmm.
actually. If we get down bad and we have to sub unexpected injuries, it's kind of fun to watch him slot out to the center.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the way they utilize him is very good. So I would say in a disappointing England Six Nations, he was the one bright spot. And then Wales, rounding out Wales.
Mm-hmm. Uh, Ooh.
Louis Rees-Zammit, you kind of have to talk about him a little bit because if you look at some of these stats, he's up there.
To me, I think Louis Rees-Zammit played fine. I think he's a better winger than he is fullback, but
Yeah.
they just struggle at that fullback position, so he's
Yep.
gonna play it. To me, it's kind of tight between three guys.
Okay.
I thought Aaron Wainwright
Yep.
was an incredible 8-man for him. I think he played 80 of every match, was scoring
Yeah.
tries, led them in a bunch of stats, had a ton of tackles, ton of carries. I think that Reese Kerr, their prop,
Reese Lightning.
who's stolen Reese Lightning from LRZ, had one of probably the most viral try from the Six Nations.
Most memorable
scored as a
for
prop
sure.
from about 40 meters out with a dummy.
Yeah.
And then had two other tries. And then, who else?
You said you had three.
Yeah.
Daffa Jenkins, Dowie Lake.
No, Dowie Lake.
Dowie Lake.
I
Yeah.
thought Dowie Lake played awesome. I think
Yeah.
he's a good captain for them. I think Jack Morgan's a better captain for him, but I think Dowie Lake's a great backup. He is they use him the most aggressively out of any hooker in the Six Nations. They love having him carry the ball. He's a great runner. But to me, it's probably Reese Kerr.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because he played great he did great in the scrums. He had a bunch of poaches too.
Mm.
Which you almost never see props getting.
Yeah.
On top of they weaponized him as a runner.
They did. He was. I picked him first week as my Wales pick, and then did not let him go. And thank God I did not. He was the bright spot of my fantasy team this year. Speaking of teams, obligatory. Why don't we go through and make our team of the Six Nations 1 through 15? I feel like hooker, but do you want to go 1 through 15, or you just want to kind of
let's just rip it through
go based on
1 through
vibes?
15.
1 through 15. Prop.
Reese Kerr.
I think it would be a disservice if we didn't do Reese Kerr. I feel like Ferrari from
That's who I was gonna say.
Italy
as well.
would have to be the other one.
I've seen at least 3 Instagram reels of Reese Kerr's try with different angelic music playing over it.
It's either the try of the tournament is either that or it's the Finn Russell kickoff that Darcy Graham goes and gets against Wales.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two that stand out the most for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so
Hooker, Dowie Lake, open closed.
Yeah, to me, I think Giacomo Nicotera from Italy played really good too, but I think Dowie Lake he's the man.
I thought Dan Sheehan was a little lackluster.
Yeah, I don't know if that's really on him as much as it is just when Ireland's pack is doing better, he scores more because he's their maul threat and everything.
True. They had a prop problem.
They did.
We talked about that.
They kind of had a prop
Ireland
problem.
had a prop problem.
But yeah, he didn't have as good of a Six Nations as he normally does.
England could not figure out how to have a hooker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
you guys are screwed when Jamie George retires.
We're trying to transition out of it. It feels like, but Luke Cowan-Dickey just isn't the guy.
Mm-hmm.
But we refuse to put Theo Dan in a lineup.
He's not a bad runner or anything like that, but he's a terrible
His line-out throws are not good.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie George is so good in the
percent difference between those two is crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's not good. So, lock.
Ooh.
This is a tough, I think, because while I did really enjoy the threesome of locks from France, I feel like I have to tip my hat to Ollie Chessum being one of the only other bright spots of England, especially because Maro Itoje did not feel like, and I know he was going through personal struggles, but it just did not feel like that team was his.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Like,
okay with Ollie Chessum there.
Ollie Chessum is in there
He's
for sure.
the only reason you guys almost beat France.
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah,
played
yeah.
incredible that game.
I
Had
think
the intercept try.
I know. Yeah, I was gonna say the intercept try might also be up there because that never happens, and it was on Jalabert. It was on a 10.
And I am still gonna pull for one of France's
Oh
locks.
yeah, the only other person
Mikhail
I think
Gaillard.
Gaillard. Yeah.
He was a monster who emerged to me.
Mm-hmm.
He's huge. He's
Player of the match.
Devastating
carrier.
Yep. Devastating carrier. And they had him. They were bringing him off the bench some weeks, started the other weeks, but every time he was in, he was just bowling over people.
France is gonna be crazy because of their depth. World Cup for them. I mean,
they have like
rankings,
South Africa level depth.
They're still behind Ireland in the rankings, and I think that's a disservice to France.
I don't know how the world rankings put Ireland above them.
Beat Ireland is still behind Ireland. World Rugby, make it make sense. So looking at the back row then, 6, 7, 8.
I think this is the toughest one to pick.
It's always tough. It's tough in fantasy. It's tough when people are making lineups.
So number 8, I want to pull Kalen Doris.
Okay.
I think he was the most consistent. He didn't have a bad game once.
This is true.
And he played all 80 of every game. And this is his first time really back from injury.
Yep.
And I thought he played stellar.
I think he captained the team well.
He captained them the whole way.
Yep.
Great tackler, great carrier.
Truly, I think you could pick 3 8-men here. I think you could go Wainwright, Earl, Doris here. But that's just me.
I think we should try to keep
if you go true 6, 7, 8, it's definitely different.
It's Wainwright or it's Doris.
But see, Ben Earl, I think, is just in the same argument that you make for Ollie Chessum. I think you can make the argument for Ben Earl. I don't know it.
Yeah, but I just think
I'll give it to Kalen Doris there.
More competitive than Locke was.
I think I'm okay. We do Kalen Doris if we go true 6, 7, 8. If you go just back row, I think you got to give it to those 3. So then going,
because I left Tad Burn off lock, and I think Tad Burn was real close.
Ollie Chessum also played lock.
Yeah.
Or also played flank. Rory Darge. Gotta be one of your flanks.
Is he not an 8-man?
No, he's 7.
Who's Scotland's 8-man?
Patrick Dempsey.
Jack Dempsey.
Jack Dempsey.
Gotcha.
Patrick Dempsey from Grey's Anatomy.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with Rory Darge.
And then that last one then.
My opinion would be Zuliani. From Italy.
Yep, I forgot about him.
A lot of people thought he was close.
Their back row was stellar.
They had a great back row.
Zuliani.
I think Zuliani was the standout to me. You know, he made some big plays, some big poaches, but I think all 3 of those back rows for Italy played awesome.
Yeah. They were underrated.
Yeah, I didn't. I underrated them coming in.
Yeah.
You know.
Scrum half. Can you just openly give it to DuPont again?
Here's the thing. Is that I think DuPont did not play great to DuPont standards.
But he's
still the best
better.
Scrum half.
Yeah, I was going to say it's still better.
You know.
There's no knock on like JGP and everybody else.
I think you just put DuPont and move on. I mean, he's so good. And I think Baptiste Saran would be like my 3rd choice after JGP. You know? And he only played 20 minutes a game.
Alex Mitchell doesn't get hurt, maybe a different conversation. I don't know that he would have been.
I think he ends up in the dumpster with the rest of England.
Oh, all right. Moving on to 10. Open book, closed book, Jalabert, or are we going to put Finn Russell in the conversation?
Jalabert.
Should we put Prendergast in the conversation, or
keep moving on?
As an Ireland fan, did you want to talk about the disappointment that is Sam Prendergast?
Oh, Cian Prendergast. Oh, Sam
Prendergast.
He's young. He'll get better. Jalabert was the best fly half in this tournament.
No doubt. Wing.
Louis
LBB. Yeah, I was
without a doubt. The second one gets a lot tougher.
It does. Balakoon is up there.
Balakoon's up there.
Adesogbe's up there.
Yep.
Kyle Stain's up there.
Correct. I don't think anybody from Wales is up there. I thought Italy's wings played good. I think
not good enough to be in the conversation.
Not good enough to be in the conversation.
Can we obligatorily put Tommy Freeman in the conversation because he's a wing, or do we have to put him in the center conversation?
Have to put him in center, and he's
not in there. Yeah.
I would say Kyle Stain had the more impressive Six Nations to me. Balakoon also did miss the first game. He just
I don't think
selected.
Stain missed. I think he played all
Correct.
6.
All 5.
All 5. 6 Nations, 5 games.
And he had more meters, he had more stuff, he had more tries. I would give it to Kyle Stain. Balakoon third.
I'll let you talk me into that. Okay. 12 and 13, easy.
Easiest picks.
Stuart McCloskey, Tommaso Menicello. Go ahead.
Stuart McCloskey.
Yeah. There are no... You can't make an argument for this to be anyone else.
I just love that Stuart McCloskey is like the most Irish name I've ever heard.
Oh,
and Tommaso Menicello
is also the most
Italian name.
For sure.
England needs like a more English named center.
We used to have
like Jack London, like the like that's the
Jack
if you
London.
had a center named Jack London, I bet you'd be incredible.
It'd be cool if we had a center named Owen Farrell.
True.
But England fans ruined that for England, so
yeah, you England
fans. We don't have to talk about that. 15, I feel like this is also pretty open closed. Thomas Ramos goes into the 15 shirt.
Yeah. I don't think there's any argument.
So you look at this team. If you're looking at this from an on-field captain perspective, who wears your captain shirt here? Because we've got several captains here. Kalen Doris has been a captain. DuPont's been a captain.
Doey Lake.
Menicello's been a captain. Doey Lake's been a captain.
Has Ramos ever been a captain?
It wouldn't shock me if he has been. Who wears the captain shirt here?
I would give it to Kalen Doris.
Yeah.
Because he's an 8. You're looking for a guy who's playing 80.
Yep.
So I would probably eliminate Doey Lake and DuPont.
In that argument.
I think Ramos is often a little too... I think having a captain in the pack usually is better, especially for discussing like scrum penalties and stuff like that.
True.
And I also just think Doris is a great leader. So,
and had he not gotten hurt,
would have captained the Lions.
So I think I agree with you there. Okay, you've got to pick one bench player to add to this team.
Is it supposed to be a player who's like meant to be on the bench normally?
No.
Like a super sub guy?
This is just like your shout out. You
weren't
quite good enough to make the team, but played really well. You get one though. I think this
Tad
is
Byrne.
Tough. Okay, yeah.
I think Tad Byrne played stellar. He always does. I think he's like the best jackling lock I've ever seen.
No doubt.
I think he's just he fills out a lot of holes anywhere.
So I feel like that pick also reflects the Ireland fan of you, and my pick will reflect the England fan of me. Ben Earl. I feel like
I don't hate either one of them.
You can't talk about the asset that guy is to this team enough. The way that they use him on kickoffs and when balls are when it's getting kicked off, it's almost always getting kicked to him. And I don't know why you're doing that, because I would never want to have Ben Earl with a full head of steam running at me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is alarming to me. And then the utility of being able to slot into the back line if you need it, I just think that's pretty vital. But
yeah, I wouldn't argue with either of them.
I think this is a solid list. Overall, ending impressions of Six Nations and international rugby moving forward.
I'm going to miss it so much for the next 10 months.
But you don't have to miss it, because guess what's starting next month? Women's Six Nations.
What?
Don't worry, y'all. We'll be covering Women's Six Nations in our podcast episode, and more than likely having a special international guest to help cover that. But stay tuned. You'll have to watch the next episode to find out. And that's a wrap on episode 2 of the Corn-Fed Rugby podcast. Want to thank Ben for taking the time to sit down and talk rugby with me.
You're welcome.
It's always nice to be able to sit down and talk rugby with Benny. So I appreciate you. With the other Deegz. With the fake Deegz.
The original Deegz.
The fake Deegz. Anyway, I'm Deegz, the real Deegz, and I will catch you in the next one.